No, y'all, I pray that last week was an incredible, phenomenal, explosive week for you. This week, in Jesus' name, it will be greater. A word that came to me for this week is called die empty. First, I just want to give a big shout out to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, my Christian brothers and sisters. Last week, I had one of my Muslim sisters chimed in and dropped a message in the comment box, and it was dope. So I appreciate y'all. Jews too, if you rock with me and you're Jewish and you listen to my word of the week, much love to y'all too. All monotheistic religions, I love y'all. Thank you for listening. But this might sound very mundane, but when we all are born with a purpose. We are born with some kind of a mission, right? And nobody is just born to just live and to just die. Despite of what you might hear the world say, oh, we live to die and that's it. No, we are all, I would like to say, we are all on assignment. Once you accept God in your life and you have a relationship with God, you are automatically, boom, on assignment. It's not, no, oh yeah, I'm just living and then I'm going to die and then that's it. Nah, there's so much more to you than just you. You know what I mean? And also in one of my past word of the weeks, I touched on how we are investments, and I just wanted to touch on that again. We are all technically investments. We're nothing but investments, right? Everybody walking around, we're an investment. I'm an investment. You're an investment. Every single person is an investment. And what I mean by investment is we are all God's investment, right? God invests in us. Right, so I would like to look at it as let's just say a house, right? When you purchase a home, like for example, me, I purchased my home maybe 7 years ago or so, and when I purchased my home for a certain amount, right? So my home was, it was like a fixer upper, right? So I bought fixer upper. I had to do a lot of work in it, but over the years, like me and my wife, we put our money together and we fixed the bathrooms, the walls, the ceilings, everything. We fixed the roof. We did a whole bunch of renovation. You know what I mean? In our home, the kitchen, which was a big deal, right? We did a whole bunch of different renovations, and it wasn't until some years after I started to do more research and learn about housing and investments and property and all the other stuff. The more money you put in and you invest in your home, when it's time to sell your home, you can expect a great large amount of money back as a return. All the money that you put into your home, all of the money that you put into your home, you fixing windows, you fixing the roof, the floors, this, that, everything. You're adding square footage to your house. You're essentially building value in your home. And it's your investment. So you have to look at yourself as God's investment, right? God invests so much into us. He wakes us up every day. He puts us in situations for us to learn. He takes us different places where we can learn from things, people, and places. He provides for us every day, allows us to work, get food, put food on the table, puts us in situations, all these tons of different things that God brings into our lives. And we have to learn to use those things as learning tools. Like they're not just, things don't just happen to you just cause. They're happening to you for a reason, for God to invest in you, and not just to invest in you just to keep for yourself, but to invest in you to be able to regurgitate whatever God is putting into you, whatever lessons you learn, to just actually spit it out and feed people and teach people everything that you learn. Like for example, I have a young men's mentorship group that me and my boy, we actually run in a community center. And one thing that I tell the boys is, I tell the boys all the time, you have to keep sharing knowledge. You have to keep sharing whatever you learn. You have to keep letting it flow. You have to share it with other people. Wisdom is like water. I've heard once one person before said, wisdom is like water. In order for water to stay good and for you to be able to drink from it, it has to be in a situation where it's flowing. Still water is no good. Flowing water is better. So God puts us on this earth. He puts us in these situations. He teaches us things. We learn from different people. We gain all of this knowledge. And We don't just gain all of this knowledge just to keep for ourselves. Because you have to remember, we're all going to die one day. Whether you're a Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, monotheistic religion, we all three religions believe that we have to go home to see the Maker one day. We have to go home and see our God. We have to go home and see God. And we're all going to die. That's common all across all three religions. We're all going to die, and we're all going to go to paradise, right? You don't want to get to heaven or paradise, however you want to say it. You don't want to get to heaven, paradise, and you're staring at God in his face, and then God is like, what did you do? What did you do with every single situation, opportunity I gave you? I gave you opportunity to help people, to spread the gospel if you're Christian, to spread the Torah, to spread the Quran, whatever. I put you in all these situations and you did nothing. I gave you a job. I sent one of your co-workers to you for you to minister to speak to uplift, to just take under your wing and to help. But you did nothing. You kept all of this information to yourself. What did you do when you was outside? I gave you money. The homeless man is always walking on your block. He's on your corner. You see him every day. He's asking for change. Sometimes he doesn't even ask you for change. Sometimes he asks you for something to eat, and you just look at him and you just keep walking. The situations where, your husband or your wife, they ask you for help and you just don't give help. There's times where you have opportunities to be selfless, but what you do, you just be selfish. You keep things inside. You don't share information. There's some people that know that you have information. They're coming to you for information, and what you do, you keep the information to yourself. When you go home to see God, and when that time comes, and we all have to die one day, you want to live as if you're just giving everything out that God has put into you. You want to die empty. You don't want to die with regrets and all of these different things inside. And you say, man, if I had the opportunity to spread the gospel, if I had the opportunity to tell people about God, if I had the opportunity to start that business, if I had the opportunity to buy that house, to buy that car, to rekindle that relationship, whatever it is, make sure when that time comes that you do everything in your power to get everything out. You want to die empty. You don't want to die with the I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Because when you get before God and he asks you, what did you do? I put you on earth to affect people and infect people. What did you do? You did nothing. All you did was go your 9 to 5. You had your family. You go home. You went to work. Go home, went to work, go to the store. Go home, went to work, go to church. What did you do? You did nothing. In the 30 years, the 35 years, the 80 years, the 90 years, the 100 years, the 120 years I gave you on this planet, and you did nothing, absolutely nothing. That is, you won't be able to have anything to say. You're going to give no excuse at all. Like, so the excuse you want to give is, well, I didn't really know. No, they ain't going to fly. So this word of the week, this word die empty, is for everybody who is sitting back at home, you're sitting on a job, you wherever you are, and think to yourself, is there information that you have? Is there talents that you have? Is there thoughts that you have? Is there a business that you have that you can share with the world? That you can share with the world. Think to yourself, is there something that I'm good at, that I'm great at, that I can edify the kingdom of God with? Whether you bake, whether you cook, whether you speak to people, whether you have the gift of singing, teaching, comfort, whatever it is, a business, share it with the world. Die empty. When your time comes and you have to go home to see God, you don't want to go home to God and say, yo, and then God looks at you and God says, what did you do with what I gave you? What did you do with what I gave you? I put you on this earth for 90 years, 80 years, 30 years, and you did nothing? All you did was go home, go to work, go to church. There's life outside of what you think is life. So you have all of these things that's downloaded in you. Get it out. Share it with the world. Jesus, for example, Jesus was on earth for 33 years. He started his ministry at 30. And in 3 years, he infected and shook up the whole entire universe. In 3 years. God sometimes has given some of us 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, and you have all these things deep down inside of you. God has given you opportunities, revelations, this, that, business ideas, counseling ideas, all these different talents and gifts, and you are being selfish and keeping it inside. Share it with the world. Get it out. There's somebody that needs what you got, whether it's be preaching, cooking, sewing, building, whatever it may be. If you have a love for anything, get it out, man. Die empty. Don't die with information. Share the information that God might have downloaded in your heart and in your mind. Share it with the world. There's somebody that needs what you know. There's somebody that needs what you know. For example, I started my business. No More Young, as you can see. I have a business, y'all. A clothing business. A clothing brand. A clothing brand. I never thought in a million years I would have ever, as a kid, have a clothing brand. A legit business. Never thought. And I'm sharing the gospel through clothing. I'm spreading the gospel through clothing. So I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. Even by doing these Word of the Weeks, I'm doing what I can. So don't die. And when you go to see God and you like, well, God, I ain't really got nothing for you. I don't really know. No, they ain't going to cut it. They ain't going to cut it. God has given you everything. Everything. To spread his word, to affect different people around you, your household, your kids, your boss, your employees, whatever it may be, to do your neighbor. Tell somebody about God. Share your gifts and your talents with God. Use what you got to edify the kingdom, to help people, to minister to people, to lift people up, and bring joy to different people's lives. Bring joy to the world, because there's somebody in the world that need what you got, that need what you have in your mind. Stop being selfish with your ideas and your thoughts. Keep God first. Everything else will fall into place. Have a beautiful, blessed, beloved week, y'all. Remember, when it's time to go home to see God, die empty. Get everything, get every piece of investment out that God has invested in you. Get it out. Don't die with anything. Die empty. Love y'all. Peace.